Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, my dear friends, welcome to the first annual 29 Palms Rock Rumble Royale! Let's get ready to rumble!
Now I'm curious though, because this is an outdoor bouldering competition, why set it outdoors rather than an indoor environment?
Because I'm a trad dad, because I'm a mountain hillbilly, man, and you know, there's a ton of people doing indoor climbing comps. There's not very many people doing outdoor climbing comps, let alone in an iconic destination like Joshua Tree. It just feels more authentic. It's a conservation event. We're getting in touch with nature. You know, you want people to vote environmental, you got to get them out in nature, and this is a great opportunity for people to get out in nature.
So what's going on exactly?
So the 29 Palms Rock Rumble Royale is a bouldering comp and conservation event, and effectively we are using bouldering as a medium to make conservation sexy, to attract the youth into this idea of conservation and being involved in the protection of public spaces and public lands and the environment holistically.
Hi. Hi. How y'all doing?
Hi.
Good. Y'all enjoying the comp? Are you guys in the comp?
Yeah. They are.
Okay, cool.
And we basically frame this event where tonight is kind of about the old school and looking back on the history of climbing in Josh Tree, and then tomorrow night's event is framed more like sort of the relevant current now of Josh Tree climbing and the future of Josh Tree climbing. So there's a bouldering comp tomorrow that's all the way from a beginner.
First question, hopefully it's easy enough. What's your name?
My name's Nathaniel. I came down from Vancouver Island. I came down for Climb Smart. I got my top rope guide certification this past summer. Rick from PCGI invited me down to join him to climb for 2 weeks, and that was an easy yes. So I came down for Climb Smart, guided there, and now I'm competing in this competition. And I don't know what I'm doing. I've bouldered once in my life.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, no worries.
To pro.
Wow, that jump is.
It's on you,
Yes.
right?
It's on you.
That's why I was like,
That
yeah,
right
I
hand
guess we could do broken flower. I know I can do it.
The Masters category is going off.
And enjoy the day. With every boulder in this competition. So don't big deal and the
There's a stack of 50 or older boulders that are coming to this thing, which is rad, and some real talent too.
I did, you know, I don't think my points are gonna do much. But what would you like me to do?
Okay, cool. So, nice, I like that. Yeah, okay. We're gonna roll in just a second here. Okay,
Ready?
I'm gonna be rolling in 3, 2, 1, and action. Nice. That's good. Excellent work.
We definitely are framing this thing as a fundraiser. We don't want people to take it too seriously. And we've got 16 grand in cash prizes for the pros, and then about 20 grand of gear to give away to the amateur athletes. And then in the evening, because I just love overcomplicating things, tonight the Stone Masters, Rick Akamozo, is presenting, and John Long is going to be there, Lynn Hill's going to be there, Dean Feidelman, I think Murray Gingery, Michael Leklinski, maybe Kevin Powell. The whole group of like the 70s Josh Tree team is going to, they're treating it like a reunion. It's pretty rad.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And then if you lose me, don't even worry about it. When you talk about preservation, I'm curious to hear what that looks on your end through Access Fund as a climber or your individual experience. Preservation and conservation. What does that look like?
What is preservation and conservation?
Either or, actually, yeah.
Well, it's not either or, because it's important from a climber's perspective. We're really interested in sort of conserving climbing and climbing landscapes, and that is different than preserving. We're not wrapping them up in a mason jar. We think that it's really important for people to be able to experience the landscapes. Now, it's really important that people don't damage the landscapes, but whenever we invite people onto places, into natural places, there's going to be some impacts, and it's up to us to conserve the places and to make sure these landscapes are resilient and can handle people visiting them. That is very different than preserving the landscape and not letting people sort of use or enjoy the area. So I think it's really important that we talk about these places in terms of conservation. We need to exercise humility. We need to respect the fact that the way public lands are managed and the current state of public lands in this country is that we have a lot of people wanting to visit the same piece of real estate. And you have to be respectful of other people. Just because we're climbers doesn't mean we shouldn't respect bird watchers and archaeologists and anthropologists and people who want to go out and run and people who want to be equestrians and others. The first thing is to respect other people and to make sure that our voices and our actions are not affecting other people. And we need other people to become advocates for the climbing community. The best advocates for the climbing community are not climbers. There are other people who are experiencing us and seeing us do our thing and saying, God, these people really did a good job at not creating impacts or not bothering other people. So I think going into these places with a lot of humility and making sure that we go into these places with the idea of sharing these spaces, because they're finite. We can't continue to protect places and we can't solve problems if people don't experience the places in the first place. So we cannot block people. We need to invite people onto these places. Having too many people visiting the park is an interesting problem, but frankly, it's a good problem to have, and it's a solvable problem. And if we all think creatively, we can work on this together. And that's kind of the theme of this event, is to see if people can sort of learn new behavior patterns and behavior expectations for how they should go out and experience these places in a way that conserves the place, so that all these people go home and continue to become advocates for public lands and support, these beautiful places. And I think the most important thing to climbers is if you start thinking that way, it will add to your climbing experience. It will not detract. If you start being more generous and kinder with other users, it will make your experience better. If you learn about, what indigenous people did or what the ecosystem is like, it's going to improve your climbing experience. If you're working to protect raptors and birds, that's better for you. You will have a better climbing experience. And I think when the climbing community reaches that point, that'll be a high point for our community, and I think that's a goal we should be reaching towards.
First question is, what's your name, man?
My name is Jake Caranto, but I go by Quetzal. So I'm coming from LA. I live out in North Hollywood, so drove out for the comp. Saw the flyer and I was like, this looks sick, so now I'm here.
So why are you showing up? Why are you here at this event?
It just seemed like fun. I don't get to climb outdoors as often as I would like to, and I love being able to go out in nature and climb outside and really challenge myself, because gym climbing's fun and it's good practice, but I feel like it's just never as good as being outside and being able to connect with nature, with the rocks, with the trees and the plants and everything around you, and just being present here in the moment and enjoying the beauty of everything that's around you, and meeting other people outside. It's a totally different vibe. I feel like it's it takes everything that you experience in the gym to another level and adds a whole nother element to it that really I don't know, it's just great. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's an adventure.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Great answer. I love the energy.
Thanks, man.
That's it.
For sure. All right, cool. Thanks, homie.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoy storytelling in terms of, where I go and who I see and the communities that I connect with. I like to amplify it both on the internet, on social media channels, but also just in the other groups of communities that I go and talk to, after this event and who I'm hanging out with. So for me, going to this event and having an experience is a story that I'll be able to tell to other people within the climbing community that I'm hoping will have a pretty far reach. And so being able to be here in person and speak from the heart about what I have experienced here and the climbing that I did today and the climbing that I'll do tomorrow, but just the landscape and the sunsets and the moments where I'm hiking down the trail and I see all these people dotting the tops of the boulders or putting up a high line or having a campfire or at their campsites playing cards. Those human moments are things that I really take away from these types of experiences. And so to be able to go out, back to Bishop or back to Boulder, Colorado, which is where I'm based out of, and talk to my friends about it, it's yeah, I went to J-Tree and I had a sick time. You should go. And that is the conduit that I want to be between a place like J-Tree and everywhere else that I return to.
Yo, what's up?
Hi.
Where y'all headed?
Broken Flowers.
Broken Flowers? Can I follow y'all? Sure. Hell yeah.
Getting out of the individual mindset of climbing. This is something I'm going to talk about in my speech tomorrow, but as climbers, I think a lot of folks, not everyone, but a lot of folks got into climbing because you can do it on your own. You don't need it's not a team sport. You don't need to have a big basketball or soccer or anything. You can go out and do it on your own, and that's awesome. You can have your own adventure, your own experience. It's very freeing, and at the end of the day, it's about you as an individual. But in order to get big things done, like conservation efforts, you got to shed a little bit of that individualism and recognize the collectivism, the collective effort that it takes to bring a whole group of people together, or to throw a big event like the 29 Palms event. That takes the energy, of one person, Seth, that he's putting his heart and soul into this, but it takes a whole community of people getting stuff done and spreading the word and seeing that mindset in ourselves and leaning more into collectivism and understanding that it's a slow process too. We're not necessarily going to blow everything up and suddenly everything is saved, if we all band together, but appreciating the small successes and supporting local organizations and national organizations that are doing that work within Joshua Tree and, within our government as well.
First question is, what is your name?
My name is Sierra Rosenot.
Where are you coming from?
I am coming from San Diego, California.
and why are you here?
Oh! Ah! Fuck! Yeah, I'm here to get rowdy. Yeah, I'm just excited to be out here. I haven't climbed outside in a while, and it feels really good to touch real rock. It feels good to like do some repeats. I've climbed a lot in Joshua Tree, so this just feels like my home crag in a way.
Cool.
It's the first place I ever climbed.
Oh really? Like
Ever.
outdoors?
Yeah, I met my husband here, so it just has a really special place in my heart.
Is that your husband right there?
That is my husband.
Yeah.
Brushing those holds for you?
Brushing the holds for me, yep.
Getting it ready and all that?
Ain't crushing, you best be brushing.
There's this common misconception
Mhm.
of the desert.
Yes.
It being a uninhabitable place.
Yep.
There's nothing there, everything's dead. How would you address this misconception to
Yeah.
help better make our mindsets going out here positive?
So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because that's one of the campaigns that Mojave Desert Land Trust has run before, which is the desert is not a wasteland. I think it's a place that's very easy to look at and then just sum up with what you see and assume is out here, right? And go, okay, it's desolate. But in fact, the Mojave Desert and parts of the high desert have higher biodiversity than if you're up in Big Bear, for example. So even though you can't see everything right off the bat, there's so much happening under the ground, at night, in the sky. Cryptobiotic soils, for example, are microbes that form a layer on the soil, and they're really, really important for the plant life, animal life, and everything. But folks might not appreciate that the same and just thinking it's ground, right? But it's this critical thing. Carbon sequestration is actually vastly larger than we thought it was. The deserts sequester 10% of the state's carbon. Plants like creosote, that's the very common scrub bush that you see pretty much driving anywhere in the Mojave. That sequesters carbon more effectively than some pine trees and actually puts it in a solid form under the ground. There are so many different things that don't meet the eyes on your first gaze, but when you spend time out here, you really come and appreciate it. And it's one of the things I love about the desert is you put that little bit of effort in and it does reward you. And the desert is very alive.
What is so significant to Joshua Tree? What makes Joshua Tree so special? Why do you keep coming back?
Joshua Tree is one of the most majestic, magical, Disneyland-esque climbing areas on the planet. It's just amazing up there.
I mean, Joshua Tree is incredibly special for a lot of reasons. I mean, from a policy perspective, it's one of these places that was first a national monument and then became a national park. So it's really important to sort of see like how this place has evolved and what that's done to visitor use patterns and visitation and conservation and what the park is basically looking like and how it's managed is really important for us to keep track of, so that when we advocate for new national monuments and new national parks, we have some perspective. From a climber's perspective, this is ground zero for a lot of climbing in the United States, and it's really interesting to be at a place where people really started climbing, say, 75 years ago. It's amazing to see the evolution of climbing and to see what people did 75 years ago and to be inspired to see what my kid's going to do, in the next couple decades.
Why are you here?
I'm here because this is an event organized by my good friend, Seth, and it's exciting to see a bouldering competition in Joshua Tree. There's a lot to discover about the boulders that even I, who started climbing here many years ago, don't know. Some that I do know, but I've forgotten. But mainly it's a chance to get together with friends and have a good time and see old friends, meet new friends. It's kind of like the old school meets new school at this particular event, because bouldering and competitions tend to appeal to a younger crowd who could benefit a lot from learning something from the older crowd. Even if I didn't climb and I just wandered around the desert, that alone is nurturing for me. It fills a need that a lot of people don't even realize that they have, and that is to be in a peaceful place, a natural place. You feel like you really see and feel the vibe of this place because it is special. And back in the day, we'd call it one of the wonders of the world.